Well, today I'm going out to look at some land that I intend to buy to set up a feeder and blinds and do some hog hunting. The Hog Heaven Ranch is in a remote part of northeast Texas, down country roads and through the woods, by all accounts loaded with feral hogs, wild boar, pigs that got away from their owners and bred with the Russian wild boar that were imported a long time ago for hunting. Now they roam loose all over Texas. When I scouted this property from the air, I saw it was about 35 acres of forest and about 15 acres of pasture. I decided to concentrate on an area I call Porky's Playground. The place we're going to set up this feeder that we've got spread out here, the three legs, the top, and still got to go back and get the drum out of the truck, is in a location here. We're directly southwest of that big tree that you see there. And then what I like about this particular spot is there's a lane, shooting lane right through there to the road, another shooting lane right through there, and we've got all this nice tangled underbrush here that the hogs can come out of. Some of it is even kind of swampy, so it's perfect cover for them, and they can come out of here, and we'll set up the feeder so that we could basically position ourselves right up there at the tree in a blind. And we built a large blind on an 8-foot platform to give us a clear view of the entire clearing. Illuminated by infrared floodlight, we sat up there quite a few times, testing our equipment and even shooting a few raccoons. And we had elaborate game cameras with solar power. Some even transmitted photos to us by cellular phone. And we had a few hogs show up occasionally, but only rarely, unpredictably. For some reason they weren't finding the wonderful corn and attractant scents we had been putting out there in Porky's Playground for over a year. Until one day, when something happened clear over on the far southwest corner of the property that changed everything. My neighbor on the property to the south discovered 5 piglets only a few weeks old running into the creek on my property. He came and got me, and the two of us went out, found the nest, and caught some of the piglets. Their mother was dead, and we managed to save 4 of them and gave them to some families that wanted to raise them as pets. Well, that revelation that there were some sows building nests on the far southwest corner of my property made me realize we'd been looking in the wrong place all along. So I dumped out a bag of corn and some hog attractant along the western boundary of my property and set up a game camera. I called the place Bed and Breakfast, and predictably, the very first evening we had deer coming to eat the corn. Even at night and early into the morning. And then a few days later, a feral hog showed up. And it went and got a few of its friends. And then they brought more family members. And they ate what the deer didn't eat, rooted around in the ground, dug around in the log where I had poured the corn. Until it started getting too hot in the daylight hours. And then they just came back that night when it was cooler. Now, the reason I had been neglecting the far west half of the forest is because the road was washed out by a seasonal creek. Impossible to cross in a vehicle. I asked the seller to bulldoze a low-water crossing for me before I bought the ranch. And he did. But the first few times it rained, that road washed right back out again. In order to establish a permanent presence in the bed and breakfast area, I'm going to need to haul some heavy stuff across the creek. A feeder, blind, cameras, and then restocking the feeder with 40-pound bags of corn will be difficult if I can't get across the creek. Tune in next time when I show you how I finally got across the creek and turned bed and breakfast into a 5-star dining destination for wild boar.